All right, let's get back to it. We're gonna see if this works. So if the game was running the whole time. We'll start. I click start game. Nothing happens. Oh boy. Oh no, what happened? Okay, there's that. Um, well, that's interesting. Where does the main menu live? Main UI. Oh, I see. So we have main UI. Okay, that probably needs to be renamed. Okay, so this is this, and start button has hooked up to dot 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 on start button pressed. So that's probably here. Tabs. Oops, probably just 2 spaces is what I've been doing. Okay, first of all, let's commit that. Okay, that calls start game, which sets the game state to playing and loads the main scene. Stages game name. Okay. Sure. Why? Yeah, main menu loaded. I click start. Oh, right, because that's on me. Because this is not set to like register input. It was still set on the thing we had from before. Okay, start game. We have a world. Yeah. Let's pause this for a second. So what's happening right now is the train intersects with the camera. Also, very very meshy mesh we have going on here. Like a whole materials thing we could probably do something about. All right, but we did. Okay, what's going on is the zombie on top of the world. So, and is it okay, so 3D camera control. Okay, zoom out. Okay, now give me the ability to do. Okay, so it seems like that's fine. Let's I mean, I do need to fix the whole like gravity and stuff staying on top of the terrain and everything. But before we do that, let's just like manually move some stuff around, just because I want to see enemy pathfinding. Let's see. Let's just grab that, move that over. I want to see the enemy spawn and walk up the hill, because that would make me happy if we could see that. What did I just do? Oh, I grabbed like a resize handle or something. Okay. Let's put you at the top of the hill. Okay, and then turn him around. So what does this look like? Okay, let's switch to a bigger perspective here. Oh yeah, there's the zombie. Look at him go. He's going up the hill. Okay, that works. Okay, so because of the navigation mesh, that works. Of course, I can't actually hit the zombie from that perspective because the ray projector doesn't work. All right, I defeated the zombie. Now just ignore the clipping. I guess we'll fix that next. Okay, zombies are coming. Okay, now we have money. So we'll okay, so our turrets are not placeable because of reasons. Yeah, I'm sure like if we were to look at this view and we were to look underneath. Yeah, they're down there on the well, ground is the wrong term, but they're down there and they're out of range of the zombies. What I'm surprised about is the fact that the zombies have not defeated. Shouldn't you be out of health? Oh yeah, oops. That's a bug. Anyway, all right. Cool. Player or target health is allowed to go below 0. Okay, so entities are floating, no gravity. I don't know that that's actually something we need to fix. So the targets don't move. And as long as we've baked the nav mesh for the terrain, the zombies will follow the nav mesh. So I think that's fine. But the issue is that camera is clipped into the terrain. Is a problem. What other problems do we have? I mean, we can work on like the terrain looks very weird. If we want it to look like, I don't know, grass or something, you know, we can do things. We can do things. The point was just like to have more than just like a auto-generated plane. But yeah. So how do we want the camera to work? Oh, right. And the other issue is that placing obstacles places them below the terrain, right? Those are the things that we observed. But how should the camera behave, right? So when we're here, we don't want this. So the distance from hold on. Pause this whole thing for a second. Let's look at our camera. What are the settings we have on the camera? Ignore all this stuff. This is all our custom stuff. Over here. So the size of the camera is essentially our zoom level. So maybe can we just move the camera further away? Doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe, yeah, if the game is not paused, okay. And then if I change the size, we can still zoom in and zoom out, right? So much. Okay. And so does that fix our clipping into the terrain situation? Sure. Okay. So, great. So if I want to change the actual camera location, ruler mode, interesting. Group select, lock, use local space. What does this do? Exactly what I want. Okay, cool. So if I reload the game like this, okay, pretty happy with that. I feel like if we're gonna keep this size of a map, do we... I really like how the kind of the behavior we get from the buttons here. Look at this. Anyway. Okay, that seems good. Save all that. So that fixes our cameras clipped into the terrain issue. We need to figure out how to fix the obstacle placement. Yeah. Oh, and I did want to move the camera to be focused on where the target is when we start. So again, we'll go back to local coordinates. And how's this gonna work? Actually, no, maybe global for this, because we want to just move it this away. To center that, and then we're going to change the initial size to be... Okay. Why don't you move? Move faster. There you go. All right. So then when we start the game, we start from here. Yeah, I think I'll change the max size to maybe like considerably larger. And we'll start, and that way we can zoom out and get a better perception of the world. I guess TBD on like the actual scale of the levels. I just made it this size because that's how big the original plane was. Yeah, we still get clipping here if we're fully zoomed out. So maybe we don't want to zoom out this far. So maybe like 300. Here they come. I don't think I can zoom in fast enough to save our guy. Yeah. Anyway. A polished level it is not. But I feel like the bones are there for kind of a fun game. If we could just place the obstacles. Okay, so save all this and then obstacle placement is managed through obstacle placement, which has a script. How does the script work? And so much script for this. Okay, so we have a raycast. And we have things. So when the action place obstacle is triggered, we call place obstacle. Okay, this is us getting ahead of ourselves. So there's something that sets the preview. The preview is the thing that when we click the button in the hotbar, we see a preview of where it's going to be placed. But we can't right now because the terrain is in the way. So it's on obstacle spawn requested. So trying to do another thing cancels the initial thing, and then we set place obstacle type to be this, and we instantiate the scene, and we add child, and that's all fine. So there's something that we do where we set the position of the preview. Update visual feedback. No, project placed obstacle, maybe. This is where we take the mouse position. We use the camera, we project. We use project ray origin to say, okay, if the mouse position is the screen point, then where is that in the world? And then we have a direction, essentially projecting from the camera through. Okay, right. So ray origin is essentially. Oh, that's interesting. No, that's fine. And then target position is ray direction times raycast length. How is this supposed to work? How is this supposed to work? Oh, right, because it's raycast. It's the raycast target position and position, right? So it's where the raycast is and the direction of the raycast, right? That's what target is here. The ray's destination point relative to the raycast's position. Yes. So it's like if the screen was the camera, then if you click somewhere on the screen and you translate that to the position of the lens of the camera, this big square orthographic lens, and then you say direction ray normal. So what direction is the camera facing? Which in the case of like this, regardless of mouse position, will always be the same value, but we don't. This is just the easiest way to get that value because again, it's an orthographic camera, so all the normals on the surface the projecting from the camera will be in the same direction. So we're just projecting a ray of that length, and then so that position will be relative to the raycast position, and then the raycast does a thing. Right, so we have this raycast from the scene, and so no, that's obstacle detection. Okay, so what about the other raycast? Is there like a signal on the raycast? How does this work? Nah. Okay. Let's see. Close other tabs. There we go. All right. Is this something where? Ooh, actually, let's go back here. This raycast is looking. It's on collision mask 5. Okay. So, is the landscape? Well, the landscape doesn't have collision. Oh, right. So if we, where's that? Okay. We go in here. Yeah, open it anyway, so that we can get a hold of this mesh, right? And then we click mesh and we create a collision shape. Create that. Cool. And then we cut this and we go back to here and we paste and we delete this collision shape. Yep. And then we also need to rotate this to match. Was it -45? There you go. And maybe do some other things because that still doesn't quite line up. What's the error here? A non-uniformly scaled collision shape 3D node will probably not function as expected. Make it scale uniform, the same on all axes. Is it not? 1, 1, 1. Huh. What did I do? Interesting. So if I go back here, please only use as a child of things, but it's also non-uniformly scaled. Which is interesting. Why? And does it line up with the terrain here? It does. Okay. So a thing I can do, let's close this. Don't save. Go back to here. Undo, undo. If I open this and I say new inherited, so we have a scene, and then we go to the mesh, and then we create a collision shape, and it can be static body child. Yes. Create. Cool. And it doesn't complain about anything. So then, this is still a model? I guess effectively at this point, this becomes the level, right? Because it has the terrain. We can add some stuff to it. Do I want to just create a folder called levels? And we'll make this level 1. Okay. And then we'll end up moving things in there. Hey, Sneaky Spudsworth. Hello. Good morning. How's it going? All right, so we have a very basic piece of terrain here. And then what I want to do is we're going to delete those things. Now, is this... Okay, so that doesn't actually use the level yet. We're going to bring the level in from levels. We're going to put it here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a level navigation 3D. We're going to go into here. And we're going to add a navigation region. I'm going to put the plane inside of that. We can't do that. Okay. Change your plans, maybe. Yay for time zones and babies being outside in the garden. Oh yeah, it's maybe not morning for you anymore. It's still 10 a.m. over here. Okay, so we can't... So what's this complaining about? Navigation mesh resource must be... Yes. Okay, we need a navigation mesh. And then... Can we tell it to group explicit? So how does that work? Does it have to be a child if it's group explicit? Okay, just anything in this group. Okay, cool. So then what we can do is we can put this node in a group. Yep, cool. And then, no, Mrs. Spuds is also in the garden. Sure, fair disclaimer. You haven't just just sent the little tot out to go play in the garden? Maybe not quite old enough for that. All right, so what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so we have the navigation region living inside of our level. Maybe this is fine. And then I'm just gonna call this level 1, or yeah, level 1, sure. Well, not yet. The day's old enough will be the day my life starts again. Yes. So at this point, I think we have to put our rotation back on here to give that kind of isometric feel. And what does this look like? Oh, I didn't bake the navigation mesh, but that's fine. Okay, so we didn't break everything. Although I imagine the zombie that spawned has no idea what to do. Yeah, he's just standing over there because there's no navigation mesh. So let's go back into the level. We go navigation region, bake navigation mesh. Now let's hide the plane. Yes, okay, there we go. So that works. It's able to find the mesh just with the group. Okay, so now when we run the game, we'll get a zombies to spawn over here, and it should start running this away. There it is. And it's kind of underwhelming from this perspective, but it's running uphill towards our hapless survivor. And we can take care of it. We can build a wall theoretically, except still we've not fixed the issue. All right, so if we go over here, nope, still broken. What type of game am I trying to make? That's good. Yes, trying. A tower defense of a sort. With the idea being that on the hotbar you'll have different like walls and turrets and other things you put down on the map to defend the survivor or survivors from the zombie waves that will be coming in. And so we'll have more interesting terrain at some point and actual like art for these things. Currently the issue seems to be that we should be seeing a little preview. Like when I... Oh, interesting. That's a bug. You can unpause the game, but clicking resume does not get you out of the pause menu. Okay, let's take a note of that. Resume button on pause menu does not close the menu. Oopsie. So when we were in the game and we tried to place a wall, well, here, let me take care of a zombie here. Go away. All right. And we tried to place a wall or a turret. Oh, that's just not working at all. Interesting. Let's so 3D camera. So we get free camera here, and then we can yeah. So now it's just placing it right over there. That's weird. So ignore all the log messages. So what should be happening is I should be able to click this and then get a little preview showing where the turret would go, and then I can place it. But none of that is happening. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Is zombie tower defense game. And this is the first thing that I've so all the other practice games that I did were 2D, and so I think this is the first thing that we've done in Godot that's like 3D. Yeah. So a lot of debugger messages. Maybe that's a clue. Oh yeah. So this is why our survivor is surviving right now. Error calling from signal damage to callable. Method expected 2 arguments but called with 3. So right. So shake effect was not updated when we changed the signal for damage. Source. Is it string? Sure. Let's see if I double click this again. We'll see. Yeah, damage.emit. Yeah, it is a string. Damage source. Okay. So so something I was working on yesterday. If we start the game and I hit T, yes. We have game statistics. Also, it doesn't pause the game. We have stats. So this is across all runs. But that's why that damage taken signal now includes a damage source. Because we hook onto that signal to be able to keep track of well, we don't keep track of damage. This is just defeated, right? But we could, and I think all the things that for signals representing like, oh, this is destroyed or whatever. Keeps track of stats. I like the stats for hand kills versus tower. Yes. So the idea with this is that the start of the game feels kind of like a cookie clicker sort of thing, where it's like you have to click by hand until you get enough funds to be able to buy towers. So I need to balance it because the zombies need to be probably like one hit kill, and there need to be more of them, and they need to be a bit slower, and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's only a little grindy at the start, but very quickly what the idea will be is there will be achievements, and then as you achieve things, you will unlock different thingamajigs. Also, right click doesn't work. I've broken so many things. So you should be able to right click this, and there's a little menu to select for different things, but I've broken all the things apparently. But anyway, and yeah, we'll have a better graphic here. So that's the oh, weird. Oh, it's paused, right? Oh, right. Of course. Does that? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Maybe intentional feature. You can't change the hotbar while the game is paused. But yeah, theoretically right now there should be a little placement preview in the world for that. But the idea is, yeah, you can. Right now, these guys have 2 hit points, and each click does 1 hit point, and there's a cooldown on clicks to keep you from just like spamming it. But the idea would be like already, like right now, if I could actually place this turret, it would be totally broken because like the turrets do a bunch of damage because I didn't tweak it yet, and so they like insta kill every zombie in the year. There's only 2 waves. Like it's very early days in terms of actual like gameplay. We're just like focusing on the fundamentals, like actually having ground. And of course, then unbreaking the things that I've broken. But yeah, so like I should be able to place things, but I can't. I can tell I'm not placing them because the currency is 50. So we got a warning from placement. Cannot place obstacle. Invalid placement location. Outside navigation region. Invalid terrain support. Okay. So these are probably why. I'm not able to do things. So I think one thing I want to do is I'm going to change. Okay, I'm going to do the thing that I threatened to do earlier, which is we're going to change logging a little bit. So we're going to add a trace level. No. We're going to add trace, which means we need to change the enum. Why do we care what do we have to give it a number? Who cares what the numbers are? Yeah, we'll see if that breaks anything. And then trace. There we go. Okay, so what does that break? Let's see. I bet somewhere we're comparing things by value, aren't we? If I wanted a color for trace, we're already using gray. sure. Ah. Log level names. So I guess I have effectively, yeah, it's it's exactly the same as if I would do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's fine. As long as I've updated all the arrays to have the appropriate length, it's fine. I would probably, if I was doing this again, maybe instead of doing an array like this, just do like a dictionary with the names and the colors. It's fine. Okay, so the whole point of that was just to be able to add a trace level so that I can go back to here and be like, hey, see where we're logging navigation finished? Let's make that a trace log so that I can have debug logging on and not see that message. Okay. So does that, no. Let us reload. Great. So we need to, ooh, I don't like blue. I do not like blue. For that is not readable. We're in the wrong file. Blue. Oh, I don't know. Okay. So theoretically, we should be able to put a wall. And it says create a preview for obstacle wall, but I don't see it. So I don't see the preview at all. Okay, so our log filtering didn't work either. Let's see, current log level. Okay, so there should be a log message at the beginning saying what our current log level is when we start. Level trace. Okay, it's wrong. It's because it's being stored as an integer, which means debug was the one that was a 0 before. So in project settings, we have the ability to set our log level. Yeah. Gonna be lurking my in-ear monitors came yesterday, so gonna set them up. Nice. Yeah, I've been thinking, I switched to those because I was tired of my headset pinching my ears. But I've been on a cord. I got Shure in-ear monitors, but I need to get the Bluetooth for them so they can be wireless. But yeah, thanks for the lurk. I'll just be here trying to make this work. Brainless, I don't know if you're still around, but this morning as I was getting the stream set up, I was looking at the your resub message from Friday. I had some greater appreciation for your rhyming. Okay, but there's no preview. Why no preview? What if I go over here? The other thing I could do is I could just lower the mesh Like, is this a I can't see the preview, or is it the preview doesn't exist? Right? So let's take the level and lower it and run it. So somewhere down there is the ground. Right class. Oh, right. So that's for that. Okay, cool. Where's the zombie? Okay, great. Okay, so there's just there's no preview of the wall. If I just like click, yeah. So there's a wall. Maybe this is at like 0, 0. So what did the log say? Invalid placement, position outside navigation bounds. Cannot place obstacle, invalid placement location, outside, invalid. It's so weird because it obviously placed it. And we can claim it back. Oh, this is the preview. This is the preview. Right? Because when I right click it, it cancels. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. So the wait a second. Wait a second. Didn't I say let's see, obstacle placement, is it in here? There's a raycast and it's looking for collision mask 5, but I didn't. All right. So in not the target, in the level, we got as far as setting up the static body and the collision shape. But we didn't set it on layer 5. I think that's significant. Also, let's go back here and undo. There we go. Should we label the layer? So what is layer 5 to us? Layer 5 of collision is what obstacle placement uses to determine where the ground is. Right? So layer 5 is maybe it's the ground. So does that mean if I hover over 5 it says that? Yes. All right, that is the first time I've ever actually used the feature to name the layer, but I've been thinking about it. All right, what's in the debugger? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so can we please have a preview? Yes. And this works even when the ground is down there. All right, so let's defeat the zombie. And we'll spawn camp here. Oh, I can't place it though. Position outside navigation bounds. Okay. Position outside of. There it is. All right. Before we dig into this, let me commit the changes to. Confused. That should not have changed. Oh, I see. It added. I see. Okay, yeah, we can keep that. We'll have both. We're not using the other one, but we can have that. Okay, that's where we added the layer name and then the default log level. So we'll keep those, and then we change the logger. So we'll commit those changes. Okay. And then we're gonna update this because this fixes a bug. So this is fix missing argument for damage taken signal receiver. Okay. Right. So what are we doing? So we have a check here. Is within navigation region. That is supposed to prevent us from placing things outside of the world, outside of the playable area. How does this work? So we expect to have a navigation region for obstacle placement. Okay, that's a reference. Okay, so this is just a reload from disk. If we go stop game. Excuse me. We look at obstacle placement. We didn't assign a navigation region because we took the original one, we renamed it, we ended up like moving it or deleting it or whatever into the level. But we do need this navigation region, which is right here, and we have this mesh. I guess that's fine. I don't know what that's going to actually do, so let's find out. I suspect that may also be an issue where it's like, oh, you can't place there because, yeah, it's outside navigation bounds. Because of other things. Right? So, before it's because this was not set. But what this does is this looks at the navigation mesh and it says, oh, you don't have any vertices, so I give up. This is probably what's happening right now. And then this is weird. Also, these should be, if we're gonna do this, we should definitely do this kind of assignment so that we get the type from here. If it, it should, whatever. So navigation mesh. We only use, okay, so why don't you just do this? Because that doesn't exist. Why can't I control? Okay, there we go. Navigation region. There we go. Has a mesh, and the navigation mesh has vertices, maybe? Seems like no. Vertices per polygon. Get polygon. Get vertices. Huh. Okay, I'm kind of suspicious of this method. Broadly speaking, what this should be trying to do is check to see what the bounds are of the navigation region, and if local position, what? If the target position is inside of the area. Do we even need this? I don't know. I think I might just try removing the check that's using this, because I'm not convinced this actually would do what we want. So let's remove that. And Twitch wants to run some ads, so I'm gonna take a break here for a couple minutes, stretch my legs. I shall return in like 3 or 4 minutes max, and we'll see what that change does. So